If they're ready, our first guests are a YouTube series sensation based upon the Slender Man Mythos. The first episode was posted in June 20th, 2009. There are 87 entries chronicling, I don't know if that's a word, the series with several videos featured on a subchannel called To the Ark. Please give a warm ConnectiCon welcome to Marble Hornets.
Are we coming up here?
Yeah, come and join me.
Okay.
I have to share microphones and stuff. It's all right. Sweet. Well, thanks for coming. We've been waiting for how long? An hour? For the other guys, not you guys. Cool. So how are you guys doing today?
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. We woke up like, I don't know, 30 minutes ago. but we're glad to be here.
Can you guys out there hear them okay?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Do you want to point out your victims, or do you want me to?
You can.
Okay. We'll open up the floor now. In the back.
Joshua Altsbelly from WCCA TV. Last I checked, you had a YouTube channel. Were you planning on ever getting an actual website for just Marble Hornets, or?
We have a website for our, I guess, production company that we make Marble Hornets under. It's fact.tv, THAC.tv. That's kind of our most recent thing that we did was found that company, because before we were just kind of doing it by ourselves, I guess, unofficially. Then we found out that taxes exist, and we had to make that company. But yeah, it's kind of a catch-all right now for everything we do, including Marble Hornets.
We're video guys, not web designers, so
yeah,
it's still in the early.
Yeah, it's still in the early stages of
even being a website.
Being a website, yeah. But we do everything under that. We sell our merch there and everything. Yeah.
Cool.
Who's next? In the back with the gray shirt. Yep.
My friends and I are all very big fans. Sorry, Nick Gansel from GeekVision.tv. My friends and I are all very big fans. You know, we have trouble sleeping at night sometimes after watching it. And I was wondering, when you started this, how much did you know going in? Because I'm assuming a lot of it was kind of discovered as you went. So I was wondering, what did you actually know when you set to embark on this?
I knew literally nothing. I was a I actually wasn't even in school at the time. I was working at just a little used video game store when we started and had never done anything involving video. And after that, I still didn't know much because I was a music performance major. So basically everything we did on Marble Hornets was new to me.
Can you specify, did you mean discover in the story or discover how to make videos, or both?
I meant in the story, but if you're interested
in that
about
case,
how to make videos.
Season 1 was all basically off the cuff. It was all a series of little 3x5 note cards of basically shots we thought would be cool. And then it got way out of hand, and we were like, oh man, we should maybe write a story around this.
Yeah, like the first 10 entries or so, we were just like, we're just gonna shoot whatever we think is cool and probably never worry about any kind of story, because we didn't think it would get this popular. So after, I don't know, about halfway through season 1, we were like, we should maybe try to do something with this. And so after that, we tried to start writing a story around that. Then we realized that we couldn't wrap it all up in one season. So we went on to season 2, which was entries
27 through 52.
Which we really started to work on the story of it, and then again realized we don't have enough time to wrap all this up in one season, so we went to season 3, and that's where we really tried to bring everything together. So it was definitely a learning experience in terms of crafting a story and stuff, which I think we're still learning about.
Yeah.
Yep, in the black shirt.
Josh Arms, Cosplayer Nation. I understand. How did you feel of getting over the 1 million hump on YouTube?
It just kind of happened.
Yeah, we weren't really paying attention to it, then one day we just kind of checked, and we saw that we had over 1 million views, and we're like, oh, that's a lot of people.
When we first started, I said to Troy, if our entry number 1 gets over 5,000 views, I would be shocked, because we were just making it for the Something Awful forums. And while that's a pretty good starting base, because you have bleed over from Something Awful into 4chan, Reddit wasn't really huge at the time.
Yeah.
I don't even know if was Reddit a thing.
Yeah, it was.
It was? Okay. And then, I don't know, it spread from there.
Yeah, it was. We were kind of lucky that we started on the Something Awful forums, because it was almost like a built-in audience that we didn't have to try to seek out.
But even then, it was not 1 million people strong.
No, not at all. So it just kind of started there, and then luckily they thought it was good enough to spread it through word of mouth, and we've never really
Never advertised it
yeah,
at
we
all.
never really advertised it at all. It just kind of spread through the magic of the internet, I guess.
The friend.
Sarah from morepower.com. So what inspired you guys to first start just filming like scenes that you thought were cool in the first place?
We were bored one summer, and
You didn't want to get a job, and
I didn't want to get a job.
didn't want to do my job.
Yeah.
So.
We brought Tim in on it probably about, I guess, a year later to really, what was it? Like a year?
Something like that, to actually do writing and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
because you had kind of asked me about 2 entries in if I wanted to just sort of be an actor in it, and I said, well, yeah, sure, because I'm not doing anything else either.
Yeah.
And that just kind of snowballed to whenever I was always readily available.
Yeah, you're a employee now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were just bored one summer. We never thought it would get this big. We just wanted to. I was in school at the time for video and everything. And I thought, why not try to do something like that on my own? And
Because at that point, Slenderman had been around all of like 2 weeks, maybe.
If that.
And, everyone was writing stories and doing Photoshops and even some audio logs, but no one had done video yet. So we broke that ground.
I guess so. Yeah. I noticed that no one had jumped into video yet. So I made a post on the thread that started it.
Before he even talked to me.
Before even talking to him.
You're just like, yeah, okay.
I was like, yeah, I have these videos. I was thinking like, I can maybe do this on my own. I don't know, but then I knew that Joseph probably wasn't doing anything, so I just called him up and then we made those note cards, and then now here we are.
Right here.
Inc.gamers.com. Also speaking to the composition of the cool shots, are there any directors you consider influential on how you decided to, or which shots you decided to finally take?
We didn't need to at the time, I guess, but we realized a little bit later that we were pretty influenced by things like David Lynch and his films. We're big fans of Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
And we kind of built, I guess, the atmosphere, sort of everything being slightly off, I guess.
Yeah.
We kind of were inspired by that.
There's a lot of similarities between Marble Hornets and Twin Peaks that I never really noticed until after the fact.
Yeah.
Because there were some things that happened late in Twin Peaks that we sort of did something similar to, but we hadn't watched those yet.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, maybe if you set out to make something off, that's just the logical progression to take.
Yeah. We never, I guess, I really liked the Blair Witch Project when it came out, however old I was then.
Yeah. Which I think you're the only one of the 3 of us that's even seen that, are you?
Yeah. So yeah, I really like that. And the found footage part of it was kind of, we couldn't really see it being anything else besides found footage, but that was also a good thing because we didn't have a whole lot of money, and found footage is kind of the cheapest thing to do with that.
About a month after we started posting our videos, that's when Paranormal Activity started its media blitz. So we're basically trendsetters.
Yep.
Over here.
Hi, Devin Kovic from AntiFanboy.com. Obviously, Slenderman's kind of like big kind of, I don't want to say grassroots, but it's like a cultural thing. There's video games, there's movies. How do you guys feel about kind of being one of the, I want to say innovators, but like, how do you feel about cultivating like the Slender Man myth at this point?
We always kind of think, oh, sorry, were you gonna say?
No.
We always kind of say that if it wasn't us, it'd probably be someone else. Like, it wouldn't, I'm not gonna say like,
That's how the
oh,
internet works.
yeah, I'm not gonna say if it wasn't for us, it wouldn't be popular, because that's probably not true. But it is very strange to kind of have things that we started being kind of the norm for it in some points, because we didn't want to, when Slender Man was first made, we didn't like the whole tentacles and
Kidnapping kids.
and stuff, so we took that initial idea and kind of formed our own thing around it, like the video distortion stuff was us,
Memory loss.
the memory loss was us, all some of the things that are associated with it now are things that we initially did.
Like
So
the
that's-
symbol.
Yeah, like the symbol with the circle with the X in it and everything. So it is very surreal to see people taking things that we started and making their own stuff out of it.
It's even weirder when those same people have not even heard of Marble Hornets.
Yeah.
And they're still watching stuff that we started.
Yeah, when the video game came out, when Slender the 8 Pages and Slender the Arrival came out, there were plenty of people that their first interaction with the character was that.
Mhm.
And then they'd be like, oh, Marble Hornets, what's this? And yeah, and it's kind of like, even the 8 Pages was inspired by us. We know the guy that made it pretty well, and
Not at the time and not
Yeah.
until after it came out.
not,
but
yeah,
we're able to, because I watched you play through it whenever it first came out, and we were just kind of like, hey, we've been to all these places in real life. These all
Yeah.
look really familiar.
all these places in the game are inspired by
Mhm.
places that were in Marble Hornets, it's,
Sorry, follow up. So with the video game, were you guys ever contacted like, hey, we're thinking about making a Slender Man game. We have some ideas. Obviously there were some influences. Did they ever contact you? Kind of spitball some ideas with you guys?
The first one was basically made, Mark Hadley, the creator of the game, made it to basically learn how to code in Unity. So, there was no discussion there, and it was just a free-to-play game. I got in contact with him afterwards and was like, hey, that's a pretty cool game you guys made, because we benefited greatly from that getting popular, because people were interested in Slender Man, so they wanted to see more Slender Man related stuff.
I think didn't he link some of the video channels at the end
I
of the
think
game
we
or
were like a
something?
special thanks or
Okay.
something, special thanks to Marble Hornets. And because we are obviously heavily inspired by Slender Man with the operator and everything, people found us, so we got a huge boost from that, so I wanted to get in contact with them. And I said, hey, if you ever want to do a sequel or something like that, and you need someone to write, get in contact with us. And that was kind of the end of that, and then 6 months later, they're like, hey, we're making a sequel, do you want to write the story? And we're like, okay, so we did.
yeah, we ended up writing the story for the sequel, The Arrival.
The original stuff, I think they've done some expansion stuff now
Yeah.
that we didn't have a part of, but
Yeah, they kind of took it in a fairly different direction than what we wrote for them, but it was still the first time we've ever written for something like a video game before. It was a very different experience.
Unfortunately, we are out of time, so just give another round of applause for Marble Hornets. Welcome by. So at 1:30 today, they're going to be hosting a roundtable in Special Events 1. They will also be answering your questions even further, 6 to 7:30 today in Panel Room 1.
I didn't know what that was.
All right.